Subhodayam. Welcome all to the 7th batch of certificate course on Sanatan Dharma organized by Veda Samskruti Samiti in association with Viswa Yoga Vidyapit. Today we'll be having a very interesting session on the research outcomes of Agnihotra by Dr. Brahmdutt Arya ji. He has been taking classes since long. So for in the last two batches, he was not there because of his busy schedule. So it's fortunate that we have his class today. We start the day session with Vande Mataram by Venkat Narayan Garu, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Suphalam, Malayaj Sheetalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
Dhanyawad Venkat Narayan Garu. Thank you very much. Now I request Radha Kumari Garu to do the pradhana, please.
Thank you.
You have to start your video, please.
Sir, my video is not showing.
Just a minute.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's okay. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
Okay. 1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Om. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणानां ब्रह्मणस्पत् आ नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीद सादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी बाजेभिर्वाजिनीवति धीनां वित्र्यवतु। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरो न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। स्वस्ति।
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि
श्री गुरुभ्यो
ओम। ధన్యవాదాలు. Thank you very much, Radha Kumarji, for the nice pradhana. Now, before we hand over to Dr. Brahmdutt Arya ji, I give a very, very brief introduction to Dr. Brahmdutt Arya ji. Dr. Arya, by designation, is the Assistant Professor in Directorate of Higher Education, Haryana. Dr. Arya has completed his PhD from CSIR National Physical Laboratories, New Delhi, with specialization in cancer nanomedicine. He has more than 15 research, or he has now updated, he has more than 32 research articles in his name in the cancer research domain. He is currently associated with European Association for Cancer Research, UK, as a young investigator and ambassador. I think now this designation is that he must be a very senior research fellow in this association. His prime areas of interest are cancer, nanomedicine, biosensor, fuel cells, energy harvesting devices, etc. Being a chemistry expert, he has developed Indian standard reference material for gold nanoparticles and silicon dioxide nanoparticles. Dr. Arya has been a follower of Arya Samaj since birth and has been practicing yajna on a daily basis since childhood. He has conducted a series of experiments on Agnihotra research at CSIR National Physical Laboratory in New Delhi, Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi, and the Tropos Institute of Environmental Research, Germany, to validate the traditional knowledge of Agnihotra on modern scientific grounds. This is a very, very brief introduction about Dr. Arya. He has more credentials to him and rich experience in the field of Agnihotra and the nanomedicine. So we are really fortunate to have him today with us. So I now request Dr. Arya to continue with this webinar, please.
Thank you, Lieutenant Dr. Babu, for this brief introduction. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your slides are visible. Can you switch on your video, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now my video is visible?
Right, it's visible.
Okay.
Good.
So let us start today's class. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to all the dignitaries, participants, gurus. A very warm morning to everyone. So I sincerely thank all the organizers for giving me this valuable opportunity to present my research for creating a platform where interdisciplinary dialogue between science, environment, and traditional knowledge systems can take place. The title of my presentation today is Scientific Validation of Agnihotra, a holistic solution for environmental remediation and human health. At the outset, I would like to clearly state that this presentation is not only about our belief, our ritual, and religious faith, but it is beyond. Uh, it is about the scientific inquiry about our belief system. So basically, we are validating our religious belief through a series of experiments. We are examining an ancient practice using modern analytical tools, standardized instruments, and reproducible experiments protocols. The central objective of this work is to evaluate whether Agnihotra produce measurable, reproducible, and the scientifically explainable effects on air quality, atmospheric composition, and potentially on human health. To begin this discussion meaningfully, we must understand the original conceptual foundation from which Agnihotra emerges. So here is the outline of Agnihotra. Just a second. Agnihotra originates broadly from the much deeper Vedic concept of yajna. So in our Atharvaveda, yajna is defined as the nucleus process of manifestation of nature. Means yajna is the reason behind the appearance of life and nature. It is described not merely as an offering to fire, but as a process responsible for the manifestation, balance, and sustenance of nature. Vedic literature consistently portrays yajna as a life supporting process, a harmonization, interaction between human and the environment, and importantly, therapeutic and preventive health practices. Atharvaveda explicitly mentions yajna as a beneficial in acute disease, describing it as a life-saving and vitality-enhancing process. Now, here is the critical point, that is yajna and by extension Agnihotra was never conceptualized purely as a spiritual or symbolic act. Therefore, Agnihotra should be understood as applied Vedic science involving fire, matter, sound, and the timing, not symbolizing or blind tradition. Agnihotra is not just a ceremony related to religious faith, but in fact a concrete Vedic science. And according to Vedic literature, yajna has quite a wider perspective. and referred as a form of sacred duty to mankind. And Agnihotra is a part of Yajna. Basically, Agnihotra is a part of Yajna, and Yajna is not basically only Agnihotra. With this philosophical and textual foundation, let us understand why this topic is extremely relevant in today's world. From this slide, we can find that today humanity is facing multiple interconnected global challenges. The first one is the rising antibacterial resistance. The antimicrobial resistance is increasingly rapidly rising and making even common infections difficult to treat. So there is a need for complementary non-pharmacological approaches. Second, indoor air pollution crisis. Today we have found that indoor air is often more polluted than the outdoor air. Various bioaerosols, particulate matter, and volatile compounds are polluting the indoor air to a quite heavier extent. And that's why there is a need for some process that could we can use so that this indoor air quality can be increased or purified. And lastly, we are witnessing a sharp rise in stress-related and mental health disorder driven by environmental toxicity and lifestyle changes. These problems are multidimensional, and unfortunately, modern medicine alone often addresses them in a fragmented manner. Therefore, recognizing this limitation, the World Health Organization has formally acknowledged traditional medicine systems as complementary approaches provided they are evaluated scientifically. WHO focuses on safety, efficacy, and integration and encourages researchers and the regulatories to accept the traditional medicine system as a part of uh, medicinal parameters for the public health sector. Agnihotra fits precisely at the intersection of medicine, environment, and public health, making it an ideal candidate for interdisciplinary research. So, to proceed scientifically, we must now clearly define what Agnihotra actually is and what it is not. So, from this slide, we can understand what is the Agnihotra. The classical definition of Agnihotra is described in Vedic literature, in different Vedas, in various Brahman, Shatpat Brahman. Agnihotra is described very beautifully. However, Agnihotra is a specific, in a nutshell, we can say that Agnihotra is a specific Vedic fire ritual performed only at two precise time points, that is, at sunrise and at sunset. These timings are not symbolic, they are based on the solar transition points, which are known to influence atmospheric chemistry. Now, Agnihotra uses a defined fire structure. Specific medicinal material such as cow ghee, herbs, and prescribed woods. And it also includes exact solar timing calculated on daily basis. Equally important is understanding what Agnihotra is not. So Agnihotra versus Yajna or Yajna. Yajna actually is a broad category of sacrificial rituals. And the Agnihotra is one specific minimal uh, type that we can do or perform on daily basis. All Agnihotras are Yajna, but not all the Yajnas Agnihotra. And the other is the Agnihotra versus Dhupana. Dhupana involves the medicine or aromatic uh, fumes that could be inhaled to do some medicinal work and used in Ayurveda for environmental or therapeutic purposes. From a scientific standpoint, Agnihotra can be viewed as a controlled, time-specific biomass combustion process that generates bioactive aerosols and vapors under defined conditions. So Agnihotra is basically Agni plus Hotra. That means Agni means fire. Fire is the central operative medium in the Agnihotra, traditionally ignited and maintained using cow dung cakes, herbs, cow ghee, and various type of woods that used as oblations. And we use other specific materials like dravya, and dravya can be of any type of havan samagri that we have used. So to appreciate its scientific relevance, let us briefly trace its historical evolution. In this slide, we can see that Agnihotra has been evolved through Vedic period in classical Ayurvedic era and through the modern or medieval medicinal fumigation process till today's practice. In the Vedic period, it was primarily a daily obligatory practice integrated with cosmic and environmental balance. During the Ayurvedic classical era, the same fire-based process evolved into medical fumigation, used for purification and disease prevention. In the medieval period, Agnihotra principles were absorbed into folks and regional health traditions, but adapted for local use. In modern times, Agnihotra has been reinterpreted within wellness and environmental movements. Despite these adaptations, the core element, that is, the fire, the timing, the material used as oblations, and the intentions with which Agnihotra has been performed have remained unchanged, which is critical for scientific reproducibility. Now, let us see how modern science systematically approach Agnihotra research. If we consider the modern perspective of Agnihotra, then we should think about a uh, building with four different pillars. And these four different pillars or foundation pillars on which the today's modern Agnihotra research is based on are Veda Vigyan, chemistry, environmental science, and biology. Without the joining of all these four pillars, we cannot perform specific, highly scientific Agnihotra research with proper outcomes. What is Ved Vigyan? Ved Vigyan is the detailed knowledge of Agnihotra from Vedic literature. Actually, what does it mean? We should know about uh, actual process of Agnihotra, how Havan Samagri should be prepared, how Agnihotra should be performed. There are different type of Agnihotra that has been mentioned in our Vedic literature. So we should follow what type of Agnihotra and what should be the process so we should follow for doing or performing this Agnihotra. So Vedic textual accuracy to ensure procedural correctness. The second is the chemistry or chemical analysis to identify aerosols, particulate matter, and gaseous components. During we know that during Agnihotra, a lot of chemicals has been released. So it is quite important or imperative for all of us to understand what type of these chemicals have been evolved in the environment. The most important part of these is the chemical composition of all these phytochemicals. Because if we simply do the wood burning, that cause pollutants. In further slide, we will understand about the different type of aerosol particle, what are the good aerosol particle and what are the bad aerosol particle, and how doing the Agnihotra is not just causing the pollution, but it is beneficial for health and environment. Only by knowing the chemical composition, we can understand whether some type of aerosol is good or some type of aerosol is bad. The next part is the biological science or environmental science. So, environmental science is to study air quality, atmospheric interaction, and pollution dynamics evolved during the Agni. So, there are various photochemical reactions happen due to result of interaction of phytochemicals with atmospheric gases. So there should be a concrete knowledge of environmental science to understand all these photochemical processes. And lastly, the biology. During Agnihotra, a lot of biochemical and cell culture analysis is required so that we can investigate whether these Agnihotra fumes uh, are beneficial or doing some harmful effect on human health. So these are the basic foundation pillars. So no single discipline can dependently explain Agnihotra. Only an integrated multidisciplinary approach can capture its full impact. With this framework in place, let us now understand the scientific mechanism involved. So this slide shows the Vedic science of Agnihotra. Basically, it shows about Agnihotra is not a single process. It integrates multiple scientific phenomena simultaneously. For example, time or sun position. What is mainly important is the time at which the Agnihotra is performed because it directly relates to the photochemical and quantum mechanical phenomena. Second is the Agni, that is heat of the thermodynamics. Third is the Havan Samagri. That is quite important when we are focusing on the therapeutic effect of Agnihotra. What type of Havan Samagri we have prepared and what type of herb we have used as oblation. And next is the Patra, who is the cosmic energy receiver, and the sound that is related to the mantra chanting and that correspond to the wave propagation and micro vibro acoustic waves that are produced during the Agnihotra. Next one is the sitting position in which the adaptation of cosmic and static energy is adopted. And lastly, the medicinal smoke and pollution control. This is directly related to the therapeutic effect of Agnihotra. So this is the picture of the Vedic science of Agnihotra. And now, to understand its environmental effect, we must first understand a key concept, aerosols. So here I am introducing you to the term aerosol. You must have heard about this term aerosols. Basically, aerosols is a system of solid or liquid particles suspended by a mixture of gases. You must about heard about PM 2.5, PM5, and PM10 concentrations. Basically, PM means particulate matter, and today we also heard that in Delhi, in November and December specifically, the PM 2.5 uh, concentration is very high. And these PM 2.5 means particulate matter with less than 2.5 micrometer size. And what is PM10 means is particulate matter with less than 10 micrometer size. So these all things uh, collectively called aerosols. And aerosols basically is a mixture of gases and liquid or solid particles that are collectively called aerosols. Now, the term aerosol cover a wide spectrum of small particles like sea, salt dust, mineral dust, pollens, and drops of sulfuric acid and many other chemical substances. Now, aerosols have a great impact on several atmospheric phenomena like Earth climate, ozone, biospheres. From this figure, we can see that these aerosols are generated through various processes like industry, transportation, agriculture, volcano. These all are natural and anthropogenic emission sources of aerosols. Now there are other type of aerosols that are directly suspended into the environment through trees and marine activities. These aerosols forms clouds and participate in various phenomena. So let us know Agnihotra generates bio-derived aerosols. produced through controlled combustion of medicinal material, not from the fossil fuels or industrial processes. Therefore, the understanding the nature and composition of these aerosols is essential before assessing their health impact. However, it is important to recognize that not all the aerosols are the same. So, in our next slide, we can find that what is good aerosol or what is bad aerosol. As I have previously said, the chemistry or chemical composition of the aerosol particle determines whether this aerosol particle is good or bad. And on what basis we can say that this particle is good or bad? Because on its interaction with our physiological state, whether it is polluting the air or it is not polluting the air. So in this figure, we can imagine that for uh, quite comparison, I have shown here that this is a human hair. In a human hair, the thickness of human hair is about 50 to 70 micrometers in diameter. And in this human hair, around 6 to 7 PM10 particulate matter uh, can be found. And PM2.5 is so small that can be inhaled directly through our nose and can accumulate in our lungs. That's why PM2.5 particulate matters are most dangerous. In the most PM2.5 aerosol particles comes from burning of fossil fuels and biomass, that is wood fires or agricultural burning. That's why during October and November, and the season of the rice crop in North India, various agriculture cultural uh, byproducts are burnt, and that's why they cause a lot of pollution in that systematic area. So here the chemistry plays important role. What is the chemical composition of these aerosol particles? So all the aerosol particles generally evolved through industry, traffic exhaust, or agricultural burning or burning of wildfires cause the pollution in the air. Whereas ancient Vedic practice of Agnihotra burns ghee and medicinal herbs, producing beneficial Agnihotra that purify and cleanse in the air. Now, with this understanding, let us examine whether these Agnihotra aerosols actually contain. So, the Agnihotra aerosol particle contain various inorganic minerals, low molecular weight hydrocarbon, polycyclic aromatic substances, fatty acid and other alcoholic acids, medicinal byproducts of herbs, fragrance causing esters, and other volatile organic compounds. Now, what is most important is the composition of the Havan Samagri. What we use as Havan Samagri. Basically, there are some things like agar tagar type of wood, ashwagandha, red chandan, white chandan, devdara, giloy, gugala, and tagar wood we have used as a Havan Samagri as oblation. And Swami Dayanand Saraswati has also classified all the offering to fire into four groups. In his book Rigved Bhashya Bhumika, he mentioned that four type of substances have been uh, used should be used as a Havan Samagri. That is substances fine odor like red chandan and white chandan. Substances with healthy constituents like ghee and other type of uh, grains we can use. Sweet substances as oblation and medicinal herbs we should use that oblation. Now preparation, this slide shows preparation of Havan Samagri. So in these figures, these are the real figures and that we are prepared Havan Samagri using different type of herbs and woods. As per Ayurveda, specific type of wood from medicinal trees are used as oblations like Pipala, Devdara and the mango tree. The most important thing is that these bodies should be dried. No, they should not have some water content in them, and should be dried and free from all the insects and other pollutants or contaminations. And special Havan Samakri was prepared in Vedic literature as prescribed by Vedic literature with more than 100 herbs of therapeutic efficacy. So basically, we perform the experiment using a specific Havan Samakri we have prepared using more than 100 herbs. And there are a lot of older substances used as a part of Havan Samakri for long-lasting antibacterial, antifungal fragrance. And the commonly used substances are musk, saffron, rose petals, white sandalwood powder, red sandalwood powder, agar, tagar, etc. And all the constituents were mixed in definite proportion along with cow ghees. So here is the brief list of all the herbs we have used. So totally around 100 or more than 100 herbs we have used to prepare the Havan Samakri. And choice of wood used as oblation during Agnihotra ceremony has been defined in the Vedic literature, especially in Vayu Puran and Mitra Pratishtha, etc. So we have used mango, dried mango wood tree wood for the as a samhita or as oblation in our Agnihotra. So here is the this slide mentions about or demonstrates the performance of Agnihotra. I, along with my team, have performed this Agnihotra specifically as prescribed in ancient Vedic literature. Briefly, along with all mantras and prayer, chanting described for Dainik Yajna in Vedas, 324 ahutis of Gayatri Mantra and 21 ahuti of Mahamrityunjaya Mantra were devoted to holy fire. Now, in previous batches, most people ask why we have choose the 324 Gayatri Mantra ahutis and 21 ahutis of Mahamrityunjaya Mantra. And basically, we need to perform this experiment for around 2 to 3 hours so that we can collect all the uh, aerosol particles as well as gases, as well as repeat the experiment on our modern instrument. That's why, in order to perform this experiment for 2 to 3 hours, we have performed 324 ahutis of Gayatri Mantra and 21 ahutis of Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, along with the all mantras prescribed for Dainik Yajna. And after the completion of Yajna prayer was performed for expressing deep sense of gratitude to Almighty God for all His blessings. Now this slide shows the PM5 particle sampler. So PM5 particles were collected on this through this instrument, and this instrument also holds a tin substrate on which different type of particulate matter were captured and then investigated for their microscopic analysis. So here is the X-ray fluorescence analysis of Agnihotra aerosol particles. Briefly, I am showing these results in three forms. One is the particulate matter, the chemistry of the particulate matter. So, firstly, we have collected this particulate matter on some substrate and then use a different spectroscopic technique to analyze the chemical composition of these particulate matter, whether these PM2.5 particles are having some dangerous chemical composition in themselves. Second experiment is done on specifically on the concentration of various pollutant gases. So in second experimentation, we have investigated the concentration of various pollutant gases during Agnihotra, before Agnihotra, and after Agnihotra. And we have compared all these results with each other. That is, whether the during Agnihotra, the concentration of these pollutant gases decrease or increase. And lastly, we have collected the Agnihotra fumes or medicated fumes through some specialized instrument developed by our team at CSI National Physical Laboratory in New Delhi and tested it using the GCMS or gas chromatography mass spectroscopy analysis instrument and tested whether these medicated fumes, which type of chemicals or volatile organic compounds constitute these medicinal fumes and what should be the effect of these medicinal fumes on human health. So here I am showing the first of this analysis, that is the X-ray fluorescence uh, analysis of Agnihotra aerosols. But we found that the particles were observed to be rich in carbon, aluminium, silicon, magnesium, potassium, boron, calcium, chlorine, iron, chromium, and nickel. Now, potassium is a tracer of biomass burning and can be emitted from burning of wood, mango wood during the Agnihotra. Now, carbon is more than 80% is Agnihotra aerosol particle, which is important parameter that need to be investigated. Now, this carbon could be in any form, that is black carbon, organic carbon, and brown carbon. Now, here is the important thing. In pollutant particulate matter or aerosols, we also have the carbon. But the carbon and its compound, in which type of compound this is found, that is of more important. Usually, carbon in its raw form accumulates in lung and cause lung cancer. But the same carbon, when combines with other minerals to form different compound of therapeutic efficacy, can heal the lungs also. All of you must be uh, familiar with the inhalers. So inhaler is also having the carbon compounds and that heals various type of asthmatic disease from lungs itself. Basically, that is the non-invasive drug delivery vehicle. And Agnihotra can also be a non-invasive therapeutic drug delivery uh, process in order to ensure the actual mechanism that Agnihotra aerosol perform. We need to investigate the each or fine particle matter analysis. Therefore, we have performed individual particle analysis using scanning electron microscopy and electron dispersive spectroscopy. In these images, you can find the Agnihotra aerosol particle collected in the micrometer scale. These all images show less than 2 micrometer size of Agnihotra aerosol particle, and this can be only around 10 micrometer in the whole size. And we can found that in all the images there is no uh, toxic element involved. This is the beauty of the Agnihotra. Not even a single or a minute percentage of a toxic heavy element like lead, tin, etc. were found in Agnihotra aerosol particles. And these aerosol particles, some particles which observed to be externally mixed with carbon fractal, and that is quite important because we are burning the wood and providing the ghee as oblation. And according to the EDS data, the particles will observe to be rich in carbon, silicon, aluminium, iron, magnesium, and calcium. The carbon could be in any form, like organic carbon, brown carbon, or black carbon. So here is I have shown a research paper that these Agnihotra aerosol particles can also uh, provide nucleation in the environment for various type of rings. Actually, this is our next experiment we have performed earlier and found quite motivating results. In our ancient literatures, it also has been mentioned that the Varsha Yajna, all of us should be aware of that during hot weather conditions and other times, various type of Varsha Yajna have been performed around our country. During Varsha Yajna, specific type of Havan Samagri has been used as oblation so that these Agnihotra aerosol particles, when combined with the atmospheric gases, and they cause the generation of seed uh, particles. These seed particles collect the water droplets from the environment, and they are basically hydrophobic in nature. And the water droplets are collected on their surface, and after some time, they cause rain in the environment. Here is the HR10 photomicrographic images of Agnihotra resource particles. From these HR10 microscopic particles, we can find that these Agnihotra resource particles at a nanoscale. In the C image specifically, we can see that the mm, parameter is 200 nanometer, and in D it's only about 50 nanometer. So these photographic images or microscopic images show that the composition of Agnihotra aerosol particles. In the G image, we can find that the width of nanoparticles are around 20 to 25 nanometer, and these are somewhere close to the lyophilized uh, lyophilic particles that generated during Agnihotra.
Yeah, any problem, Arya ji? Okay.
So here
Yeah.
is the gas analysis experiment results that we are using here. So in A image, the red one shows the concentration of various gases before Agnihotra, and the blue one shows the concentration of various gases during Agnihotra. What we have
Arya
found
ji,
that
sorry for the interruption. We are not able
yes,
to see the colors as such. So,
okay,
yeah.
okay. It may be due to
Yeah,
some
now these colors are
physical.
seen. This bar chart is seen. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So a significant reduction in the concentration, specifically 25% for carbon monoxide, 15.45% for nitrogen dioxide, 23.22% for sulfur dioxide, and 13.63% for H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide, has been observed during Agnihotra. And then we have also investigated the concentration of these gases after Agnihotra. And what we found that after Agnihotra, the concentration of various gases has been increased. So this clearly shows Agnihotra has a quite dramatic effect on reducing the concentration of these pollution gases, and a significant reduction in about 25% in the reduction of CO, that is carbon monoxide, is quite appreciable. Now, in this slide, we are showing collection of volatile organic compounds. So this is a specific type of instrumental setup that we have used to collect the fumes of the volatile organic compound consisting of inverted funnel, pipe connected to the funnel, condensation assembly, and condensation assembly consisting of condenser, chilled flowing water, conical flask having 100 ml of methanol and other substances so that these fumes can be dissolved or condensed. First, these fumes are condensed in a liquid and then dissolved in special type of chemical that we have prepared in our experimental setup. And we have also collected this with a high power vacuum pump so that all the fumes should be collected. And the collected extract has been stored in airtight vials at 4 degrees Celsius in refrigerator and analyzed using the gas chromatography mass spectroscopy instrument at IIT Delhi as well as at JNU. Now the results are quite motivating. During Agnihotra, 42 volatile compounds, volatile organic compounds of high therapeutic efficacy have been found. And some of are showing here like cinnamic acid, cycloviron, diethyl 2,5 dihydroxybenzene 1,4-dicarboxylate, etc. And these are other type of compounds. Basically, we have found a family of long chain fatty acid compounds like lauryl alcohol, isopropyl mesylate, and tetraidecanoic fatty acid, econic acid, and other type of ester associated with these fatty acids. Mm, these are also some of the compound like nitric acid, palmitic acid, etc. And we also found these compounds like trilinolene, linolenic acid, oleic acid. So we have found around 42 volatile organic compound of high therapeutic activity. Now, investigation of GCMS chromatograms reveals the presence of various fatty acids, ester of fatty acid, essential oils of herbal formulation liberated from the fumes of agni, chiefly derived from lauryl alcohol, isopropyl mesylate, and mycelic acid, and substituents long-chain fatty acid and their esters are of high therapeutic potential and that were observed in the Agnihotra fumes. Lauryl alcohol and its functional derivatives are known for their application in novel drug delivery nanoplatforms owing to their topical and targeting penetration directly to the skin dermatocytes. So these lauryl alcoholins and their functional derivatives have been used in recent modern chemical industry for their targeted penetrations into skin dermatophytes. That's why they have been used in various type of skin and cosmetic product industry nowadays. Also, isopropyl mesylate, an ester of isopropyl alcohol and mycelic acid, have shown excellent transdermal efficacy for treatment of skin syndromes, fungal infections, removal of head lice. Now, presence of other compound are also there in the medicated fumes of Agnihotra indicate towards the topical transdermal action of Agnihotra fumes for fungal infections. And various long chain fatty acid have also been found like palmitic acid, oleic acid, margaric acid, and stearic acid, etc. In the methanolic extract of Agnihotra fume. These fatty acid and their derivatives have shown excellent antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer response in lot of literature studies. In general, the fatty acid can induce antibacterial action mainly by disrupting the bacterial cell membrane and alteration of crucial bacterial cellular processes like disruption of electron transport channel, uncoupling, oxidative phosphorylation, and inhibiting the activity of bacterial enzymes. And the presence of aroma-producing compounds like galaxolides, a polycyclic musk, extensively used in the household air fragrance and air fresheners in the collected extract of perfume is simply showing the long-lasting clean and sweet aroma of Agnihotra medicated fume. Now, presence of various phytosterol compounds like stigma stan 3,5-diene, Agnihotra fume is responsible for the antimicrobial, analgesic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant properties of Agnihotra aerosol particles. Now, further, presence of few esters of fatty acid like linoleic acid, ethyl ester, etc., are the chief constituents responsible for antimicrobial and antifungal activity of Agnihotra. So, in a nutshell, what we have done is we have performed the Agnihotra ceremony strictly according to the Vedic literature. Nearly 100 herbs were used to prepare special Havan Samagri, along with mantras and prayers for Dainik 324 ahutis of Gayatri Mantra and 21 ahutis of Mahamrityunjaya Mantra were devoted to holy fire. And a significant reduction in the concentration of various poisonous gases were observed during the Agnihotra. And after Agnihotra, the relative level of pollutant gases gets increased and indicates the role of Agnihotra for sustainable environmental protection. Now, SAM, EDS, and HRN data reveals observation of carbon factor rich in carbon, silicon, aluminum, iron, magnesium, potassium, and chlorine. And GCMS data reveals around 42 volatile organic compounds of high therapeutic efficacy have been evolved during the Agnihotra. And these fatty acids and their derivatives have shown antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancerous response in a number of studies. Now, the slide shows uh, the state-of-the-art online instrumentation setup at the IIT Agnihotra. So, in recent times, we have also performed various experiments uh, at IIT Delhi with ACMS, XRF, gas analyzers, SMPS, and PTR-MS. The results are quite motivating. In these experiments, we have performed Agnihotra, then we only burn the Havan Samagri, and we burn Havan Samagri with ghee only. So we have done different experiments, and what we found that doing Agnihotra as a whole actually uh, greatly impact the human health and environment, and just not burning the Havan Samagri or wood only. So these experiments are of quite importance, and soon we will analyze all the results from the data collected from these instruments, and maybe in next our Sanatana Dharma course we will share these results with all the participants. So these are the future perspective. That is, we can use Agnihotra as for water purification. We have conducted a few experiments in the information of the cloud condensation nuclei. What is the impact of Agnihotra in the formation of cloud condensation nuclei? That is based on the concept of Varsha Yajna and UAF-based in situ analysis for Agnihotra, atmospheric Agnihotra aerosols. Basically, we want to uh, conduct this experiment in atmosphere only about 500 meter to 1 kilometer of height, vertical height, so that we can collect the impact of Agnihotra vertically, at what height the Agnihotra impact can be seen, and validation of Agnihotra as inhalation therapy, that using various microbiology and biological experiment, we can validate Agnihotra as inhalation therapy. So, धन्यवाद.
Yeah, thank you very much, Arya ji. It was a very interesting session, and yes, this Agnihotra, this session basically with the results of very intricate nano experiments done emphasizes that yes, Agnihotra is not just burning something, but then it really purifies the soul, and it helps in creating a better environment to fight the present day issues. Thank you very much. I mean, it's a very amazing results that you have shown to us and the students to instill confidence in the process of Agnihotra. And yes, I think there are a few questions in case anyone wants to ask. You can ask. The floor is open.
We
Any
can see
questions?
one question in the chat box from Mr. Suresh. Thank you so much, Suresh ji, for sharing your thoughtful thank.
Yeah.
And the question is, what effect, if any, did the sound vibrations of the Vedic mantra having on the overall environmental remediation activities? So, Suresh, basically, during Agnihotra, when we chant the Vedic mantra, so these can be related to our energy on our stress state and mental state. Basically, in environmental remediation, these sound waves does not directly participate because uh, environmental remediation is more likely to be influenced with the chemistry of the aerosol particles. And these Vedic mantra can be uh, directly linked with the stress or mental state or to calm the stressful environment around ourselves. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Aryaji, for the clarification. Any other question? In fact, I'd like to just add to what has been already said. I think there's one more question on the chat box. Okay, it's only thanks again. That this Agnihotra can be practiced every day in our regular daily life. And Aryaji, can you explain how it can be done in a daily life? Any
Yeah, Mr. Babu, there are a lot of different type of Agnihotra that should can be performed on daily basis. That is Nitya Yajna or Dainik Yajna as prescribed in our Vedic literature. And one type of yajna is can be Homa, that is Dr. Ulrich Burke that performed. And he used only cow dung cake and ghee and some rice grains as oblations during the sunset and sunrise time. What we can perform is the Dainik yajna as prescribed in Rigved Bhashya Bhumika, and that consists of around uh, 35 to 40 months that we can perform or during ahutis as Agnihotra, and that also use herbal samagri that we can find in market with the best brand names, and we can perform on daily basis. Because the Dainik Yajna with herbal formulation can also impact our health and can provide various beneficial uh, parts to our body and as well as environment. It also cleans our home through my antimicrobial action that is of quite important in today's pollution life. So here is another question in the chat box by Mr. Narsimha Murthy ji. Sir, why the government is not taking any interest to help environment? So you are asking a quite good question, and
yeah.
actually we cannot say why government is not taking any considerable efforts in this area. So we should perform Agnihotra by ourselves, and we can, if we all combinedly do Agnihotra or practice Agnihotra on daily basis, then we can clear or unpolluted the environment around ourselves. It has been found that the Agnihotra fumes can be uh, travel to around 2 to 5 kilometer in diameter.
Yeah.
If you perform Agnihotra in your home, then around 2 to 5 kilometer of diameter have its impact. So we
Yes.
can
Yes.
individually perform our part, and hopefully in future government will also take considerable steps to clean the
Yeah.
environment, because in North India and Delhi, situation is very hazardful.
The government is actually spending a huge funds on various other types of projects to clean the environment, but not just going on the very basic thing that we were performing in
Actually,
the,
sir,
in the yeah.
the major compositions of these pollutant are coming from the open construction,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
vehicular emission.
Yeah.
So government is taking the steps like only BS6 vehicles are allowed in the NCR
Uh,
region
yeah.
and other things. But how can we stop the open constructions in a large scale? But
Yeah.
hopefully there will be some regulatory bodies that should form some new
Control those
policies,
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that this can be taken care in.
Yeah.
Over time.
Thank you so much, sir.
Basically,
Yeah.
here,
Thank you so much.
yeah, even in earlier lectures by Arya ji and Albrecht, they have shown that this Agnihotra, practicing Agnihotra, improves the atmosphere around us. It's a very simple process. Only thing is, we have to maintain the timing of sunrise and sunset. And the process is very simple and not a very tedious one. The other issue or other great implication is that this Agnihotra can be of great help even for killing the insects and whatever affects the crops. So even in the farmers can use this and have a great benefit from Agnihotra in protecting their crops. And also, it was earlier seen that Agnihotra helped during COVID times also, that people who performed Agnihotra in their houses, they were not affected by the COVID. Not only COVID, even during the Bhopal gas tragedy, uh, it was recorded that a person who was performing this Agnihotra in his house in the normal sense was least affected by the gas, whereas the people in the nearby vicinity, they were affected. So the now based on Dr. Arya's experiments and the results and Dr. Albrecht's research and his practices on daily basis, all this prove that yes, Agnihotra, which is a very simple exercise, can be used by everyone. Forget about the government. For our own selves, we do it so that our neighborhood and we are protected from all the uh, uh, various viruses around us, especially during the rainy season and all. So we can take the benefit of this particular session by Dr. Arya and then see how well we can practice in our houses by doing Agnihotra and at the sunrise and sunset. These are the most important points, and we can get great benefit from this Agnihotra. So I think Dr. Aryaji, I hope I have not said anything wrong. If you please correct me if I said anything wrong.
Yeah, Dr. Babu, you have correctly said everything. I want to add one more point that actually the timing of Agnihotra that is morning and evening, is specifically shown for some type of Agnihotra. And in modern perspective, if someone can do Agnihotra or perform Agnihotra in any day, any time of the day, that should also benefit the population. So we can also perform Agnihotra in different time of day, but yeah, at sunrise and sunset is the best timing to perform the Agnihotra. And we also have one question in our chat box by mm, Radha Kumari says, what is the most fundamental difference between Yajna and Agnihotra? Actually, it is a very good question, and that also linked with the spiritualism. Basically, Yaj is the sacred duty to the mankind, and there are different type of basically the five type of Yajna have been mentioned in our Rig Veda, like Brahma Yajna and Bali Vaishya Devi Yajna. That means uh, we need to perform different type of yajna uh, to help each other. Bali Vaishyadevi yajna is directly related to the food or other things we offer to other animals or other creatures. Like we also cook food and do mm, bring that food to our street dogs, etc. So this is the sacred duty we need to perform, and this is what is yajna. And the subset of these five yajna is one is Brahma yajna. Brahma yajna is directly related to the prayers of the Almighty God, and Agnihotra is one of the medium to perform these prayers as well as for environmental remediation. So this is the main fundamental difference between Yajna and Agnihotra. Yajna can be of different type, and Agnihotra is directly related to the chanting of mantra along with the holy fire and oblations of different type of herbs and cow ghee as oblations in the Agnihotra performance.
Yeah. Thank you, Arya ji. Yes, I think the Agnotra is the simplest form with results uh, which are again very immediate. That is, it purifies the air around us, so it gives a lot of benefit to not only us but the people around us. As Dr. Arya said, it has an influence up to 2.5 kilometers. So, of course, not the, it depends on the, I think the size of Agnihotra is also an important thing because there are small Agnihotras which we use in the house, and the one you have shown, I think, is slightly bigger. Is there any difference, Aryaji?
Yes, sir. If we perform Agnihotra and use basic, then it also the impact of these Agnihotra is also high, and that's why different Mahayagya have been performed in our country. So this also there is also great impact, and also the diameter or circumference of the uh, environmental aerosol compositions are also very quite high when we perform Agnihotra on huge grounds or huge bases.
Okay, thank you very much. And for all students, the contact email address has been given in the chat box. Please note it. It's Brahm dot chem at gmail.com. So you can contact for any other queries and information regarding the Agnotra and the research outcomes. And I hope in the next session that we'll have with Dr. Arya, he can come out with more results and successful results. Yes, but all said and done, it is proved now that Agnihotra is not just burning something, but it is the purification of the air around us and making it more, what you say, virus proof, virus removed. So it is a very healthy uh, experiment, not experiment. It should be a daily part of life for everyone to do. And any other question? I think it was a very nice session with a lot of information given, and especially the strength. I mean, you have Dr. Arya has done a lot of experiments, put in a lot of things with his belief in the system of Agnihotra, and just to prove others that Agnihotra is good. But otherwise, it is already proved Agnihotra is a very, very important aspect of daily life prescribed through the Sanatana Dharma, the Vedas. So it's only we have forgotten about the importance, and now we have to revive this particular aspect of Sanatana Dharma. Thank you, Arya ji. If there are no more
Thank you so
questions,
much, sir.
we look forward to more sessions. Yeah, Radha Kumar ji, can we be provided any simple method like a YouTube video with the, yeah, Arya ji, your answer, please.
Yeah, I can share uh, a Vedic Dainik Yajna video with all of you, explaining all the mantra as well as the method for performance of Agnihotra. I will share with Dr. Babu.
Okay. Yeah, please, once you share with us, and we can immediately forward it to others
Yes.
for the benefit. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we now thank Dr. Arya ji for taking out time and giving an excellent session today. And hope all have got benefited with hearing it and understanding the results of the very, very, very nano medicinal aspects of Agnihotra. Thank you very much again. And now we proceed to do the pradhana by Radha Kumari ji.
Before,
Yeah, anyone wants to ask anything?
yeah, I want to say a few words.
Right, right. Go
Okay,
ahead.
now
Go ahead. Yeah.
Veda Samskruti Samiti, Akal Hamakanta Prabhakar Rao garu, has come out with a vision document. You all must have gone through it by now and also volunteered to participate in that project in various ways. One of them is encouraging daily Agnihotras. Those people who does Agnihotra at home on a daily basis. There are a few. The statistics are being collected, and they are not many, but there are few. But in this vision document, it is envisaged that we encourage the people who who will do this daily Agnihotra in district level and mandal level, and also at that level we encourage them by 2037, and the 12 years we would like to, this vision document envisages to bring back the condition what we had earlier, in which where this daily Agnihotra was a common uh, day-to-day activity at every home. So over a period of time during last 1,000 years, because of various reasons, we have lost that habit of doing Agnihotra at home. And you can see the results, they are not in the environment and pollution. So it is a small effort in this direction of getting back the grandeur and also the environment which previously existed. So I request all of you to contribute to this vision document and register yourself, and so that will give strength to take up these matters with the government. So government also sees it seriously and then does it as a sort of support for doing this activity. That's all I want to say. You may go ahead with your program, Babu Garu.
Yeah, thank you, Babu. Yes, it is a very important part. Though Agnihotra has, as Dr. Arya has said, that it has different forms. So Yajna is one, and Agnihotra is another aspects. So we have to perform in our own houses the simplest thing that is possible to start with, and then as you see the results, you can do more and spread the message of the benefits of Agnihotra. And as the topic itself says, scientific validation of Agnihotra, a holistic solution for environmental remediation and human health. So this is the most important thing that we require now. Human health is very important. The environmental remediation is very important. So these two aspects are being answered today with this excellent session by Dr. Arya. Thank you very much, Arya ji, again from on behalf of VSS and Vishwa Yoga Vidyapit. Thank you very much. We look forward for more sessions with you in the future courses that we are going to conduct.
Thank
And
you so much, Dr. Babu.
yeah, thank you. And wish you all the success in your experiments. And
Yeah, thank you so much.
welcome. Now we go ahead with the Pradhana by Radha Kumariji.
स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी शस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमद सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः 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 स्वस्ति श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः
Swasti. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Swasti. Dhanyavadalu, Radha Kumariji. Thank you very much for the Pradhana. Now we raise for the national anthem by
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद
yeah. Thank you very much, Venkat Narayan Garu. Thank you very much again. Yes, today's session was a very crisp one within the time schedule. but with lot of information. Now the access session is over, so I stop the recording. I'll stop the recording.